What is going on? Multiple Blizzard games are being added to Steam, starting with Overwatch 2, which I'm sure has nothing to do with its dying player base. Total coincidence. I'm Linus, this is GameLinked, and this is an investor report from Activision Blizzard that admits that player interest is drying up in Overwatch 2, although it stops short of admitting at least one big reason for that: the cancellation of the permanently available story campaign in favor of charging more for seasonal PvE missions. The Overwatch 2 team is banking on those invasive missions, which will arrive August 10th, the same day that Overwatch 2 launches on Steam, to make people hate it less. But this isn't the only warning bell for the future of the game. The Overwatch League could end this season, depending on the outcome of a vote among participating teams. If they vote to terminate, each team will receive a $6 million termination fee from Activision Blizzard for a total of $114 million, which is kind of like one of those press the button to get $1 million, but someone dies situations.
That was easy.
Except instead of a human life, it's an esports league that is struggling to survive harder than an unranked noob who got dropped into a platinum match.
It's a way easier decision.
Not to mention that Activision Blizzard laid off 50 employees from their esports department with reportedly no warning, according to a now former employee, who also speculates that this is the death knell for the company's esports division. But what are the kids gonna aspire to be when they grow up? Soccer players?
Yeah.
Their legs are gonna get tired.
Some of them have asthma.
Incredibly, Blizzard is weathering even more backlash over Diablo 4's pre-Season 1 patch, which essentially nerfed every build, and then nerfed them more by reducing the damage that you can do with critical strikes or by making enemies vulnerable.
With insults.
After including critical strike and vulnerable damage as core parts of many abilities, the devs felt that these were viewed as hard requirements by players. They just don't understand why. Why players want to do damage? I mean,
Why do you want to do the things we built?
is Blizzard even aware of the rogue class? Instead of buffing other abilities to make different builds more viable, they just made the existing ones worse. That's like the LA Lakers just breaking LeBron James's legs because he's outshining the other players. No, you need to practice more.
Practice?
No amount of practice is gonna make you LeBron James, especially if you're me though.
You talking practice?
Blizzard also added a level requirement to access the higher world tiers that offer more XP and gold without any mention in the patch notes. You can't do that. Luckily, they reversed this change with a hotfix patch today, but they decided to leave the nerfs in place. There's a campfire chat live stream tomorrow though, so be sure to tune in if you like platitudes and promises that will be broken, like this one. On behalf of Blizzard, we hear you. The planned Steam launch of GameCube and Wii emulator Dolphin has been officially canceled after its creators say they were put in a simply impossible position, having to reach an agreement with Nintendo's lawyers. Valve had stipulated that the Dolphin team would have to get Nintendo's explicit approval if they wanted to appear on the Steam store. And like a rich girl falling in love with a poor boy from the wrong side of the tracks, I'm afraid it wasn't meant to be.
Don't ruin the notebook for me.
It doesn't look like Nintendo intends to take legal action against the emulation team at least, which seems wildly out of character. You okay, Nintendo? But that's likely because they actually can't. You see, in the letter sent to Valve, Nintendo cited a section of the DMCA that forbids technology that is used primarily to subvert copyright protection measures. However, if you scroll down just a little, the exact same section extends protection for circumventing those measures for the sake of interoperability between an independently created computer program and other programs. Hey, that's like an emulator.
Hey, what?
Wow! The only part of Nintendo's code in Dolphin is the Wii Common Key, which is used for decrypting Wii games. But given that it's a string of randomly generated numbers and letters, the Wii Common Key is not copyrightable under US law. You can't just throw a big fistful of dice and copyright the outcome. I don't want to call it outcome. I want to call it Wii Common Key. I just really love saying that. You can, however, intimidate everyone else in the room into pretending that you can copyright that outcome. Do I look intimidating?
Oh, I'm terrified.
Not to our sponsors. The show is brought to you by Samsung. Samsung's Galaxy Unpacked event is not very far away, and you can reserve the next generation of Galaxy devices, all with no deposit or space credits required. Signing up is quick and easy. You will definitely be done in less than 12 parsecs, which is a unit of distance, except when it isn't. Oh, that's even in the script. That's great.
Yeah, that's correct. The astrophysicist corrected that.
They'll even give you a $50 credit. So don't force yourself to keep using that old phone. Check out Samsung's Galaxy Unpacked event on July 26th and head to the link below to reserve your new device today. Dear Linus, more quiggle bitty ideas. Curveballs, crackpots. Wow, what a weird paragraph. Microsoft and Activision Blizzard have officially postponed their wedding. Not because they finally learned who the other one is. I guess they both knew that, we all did. But to allow more time to get approval from their respective families and/or relevant regulatory bodies in the UK. If not for the extension, Microsoft would have had to pay its thwarted bride-to-be a left-at-the-altar fee of $3 billion, which, by the way, is still a possibility according to the new agreement. Microsoft will have to pay $3.5 billion if the deal fails to close before August 29th, and then another billion on top of that if they can't do the deed by September 15th. That is one heck of a dowry. In what could be described as souring the pot, Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick confirmed that he is willing to stay for as long as needed after the acquisition, something that literally nobody else wants or asked for.
I don't want him there when we consummate.
Thanks, Bobby.
You can leave him at the altar.
A reputable leaker has claimed that Capcom will announce Resident Evil 9 next year for a 2025 release, going by the names Aesthetic Gamer and Dusk Golem. They also, man, that would be a wedding to attend.
College.
What an invitation. They also claimed another major title will be announced by Capcom this year for a 2024 release. This is the same leaker that spelled out the first 30 minutes of Resident Evil 8 2 months before the game released. They also marked it with a spoiler warning, and that's just pure class. That's how you earn my trust.
Classy pirate.
Former devs from Bungie and EA have formed a new studio called Look North World to create groundbreaking games that no one has ever seen before in Fortnite.
Woo!
Yes, Epic Games launched the Roblox-esque Unreal Editor for Fortnite in March, letting anyone build and publish games within Fortnite. And now the devs behind galaxy-spanning space operas like Destiny and Halo have released their first game, Outlaw Corral, a 1v1 shooter which looks, wow, a lot like Fortnite. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting, but if they make enough from Epic's payout system, maybe their next game's visuals will get upgraded to like the same tier as 2001's Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Still the top in my mind.
That'd be pretty great. Sleep tracking game Pokemon Sleep finally launched, and it's already being exploited for rewards. Pokemon Go players are setting their phones' clocks forward to try and get a special costume Snorlax, because of course they are. Other people using Pokemon Sleep as intended have discovered that the app's noise detection function, intended to detect snoring and other indicators of sleep quality, also records farts if you rip them audibly enough. Do we really have a clip of this? That's unfortunate.
Yeah, we do.
So thanks to a Pokemon game, thousands of people have learned that if they don't shave their butt crack, their farts are actually a lot quieter. And a new content update for Disney's Dreamlight Valley, Dream Snaps, came out yesterday, adding new features like dressable mannequins, customizable furniture, and a game-breaking bug. Woo! The update increases game length by continuing the main storyline and eating several players' local save files. Of course, it also decreases game length by frequently failing to launch, preventing many gamers from playing it at all. In what may or may not be a coincidence, this update likewise introduces Vanellope von Schweetz. I don't even know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. Oh, that's right, from Wreck-It Ralph. Canonically a video game character who causes games to glitch out. Darn it, Vanellope, you deleted all my furniture. And I will darn you to gaming heck if you don't come back next Tuesday for more tech news. Wait, tech news?
Huh?
Gaming news! You copy-pasted an outro.
Wait.
Bad.
There's another channel like this?
I didn't take my pills today.